2 minutes. All right, good day and welcome everyone. Welcome all the athletes and coaches to Serbia's capital city of Belgrade, an historic and resilient city, one of the oldest cities in Europe, the city where the Danube and the Sava rivers meet, and this week a city where 6 international volleyball teams will meet at the Belgrade Arena. It's week 2, of course, of the Men's Volleyball Nations League, and we certainly appreciate you all coming. And for those who are watching online on the stream as well, wherever you are in the volleyball world. My name is Rob Snook. I'll be your master of ceremonies for this event this morning, and I'm a commentator for VBTV, and super excited to get my 4th straight week of VNL started, so 2nd week for the men, and we just finished the 2nd week for the women here in Belgrade. Serbia hosting the VNL for the first time the first time, actually, and I'm excited, I think, to do so. And based on what we saw in week number 1 or 2 with the women, we're expecting energetic crowds in the Belgrade Arena. As you probably know, the VNL has grown from 16 to 18 teams this year. 6 teams here, of course. 6 more in Bulgaria, 6 in Chicago. After 3 weeks of competition, the top 8 teams will then go to Ningbo, China for the finals. And so that battle for the top 8 is still very much up in the air. So competition will start tomorrow with all 6 of our teams in action. First game will have Germany versus Cuba. Argentina versus the Netherlands will come next. And then the last game of day 1, busy day 1, will have Iran versus the host nation, Serbia. We're expecting good crowds and lots of energy as we begin week number 2 for the women. So that'll be followed, of course, for the men, that will be followed, of course, by 2 games per day on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, and then we do it again with all 6 teams in action on Sunday. The final game of the week will be Serbia and Germany this Sunday night, and we hope in front of a packed house. So parity is kind of a big word in the Volleyball Nations League, it seems. All 18 teams in the VNL in the men's league have already posted at least 1 victory this season as the league gets more and more balanced and competitive every year. So I'm going to take a few moments to introduce all of our special guests here today. And we will start kind of in the middle with the head coach of Serbia, Jorge Krecu. Coach Krecu has coached teams to titles in the Champions League, the Polish Plus Liga, the CEV European Cup, along with many other successes along the way, including most recently with Slovenia. This is his first year as the head coach of Team Serbia. Also from Team Serbia, opposite hitter Drazen Ljuberic. Drazen, an Olympian, and was part of the Serbian team that won the European Championships in 2019. His team used the Volleyball Nations League yet last year to qualify for the Paris Olympic Games. He was in the starting lineup for Serbia at the South Paris Arena at the Olympics. And among his awards, he's been named the best opposite and the best server in Russia. And representing Iran, Bardia Sadat. He was Iran's 2nd leading scorer in week number 1 of the VNL in Rio. He was part of the team from Iran which won gold at the Under-19 World Championships in 2019, upsetting Italy in the gold medal game. He's playing in the Turkish league professionally, but earlier in his career played here in the Serbian Superliga. Now, closer to me, from the Netherlands, Wessel Kemink, setter for Team Netherlands. He's been involved in the national team for several years, gathered experiences playing all around Europe, including teams in Italy, in Germany, in Belgium, in Greece, and in Czechia. In fact, he won 2 championships in the Czech Extraliga. Beside him, from Germany, the captain, Jan Zimmermann, helped Germany qualify for Paris 2024 by going 7-0 at the Olympic qualifying tournament in Rio in 2023. He's won titles in the German Bundesliga, a silver at the European Championships, and the last several years played at top leagues in Poland, in Turkey, and in Italy. This season he'll be playing with Virovali Monza in the Italian Superliga. And beside him, from Argentina, their captain, Agustin Lozer, Olympic bronze medalist in Tokyo in 2021, won the Champions League this year with Perugia, has been named best blocker at the Olympic Games, at the World Championships, at the Italian Superliga, and in the VNL in 2023. And way over on the far side is the player representing Cuba, David Fiel Rodriguez. His career has included podium finishes in the Champions League, the Under-19 World Championships, the German Bundesliga, and also wins in the Pan American Cup and the Polish Super Cup. And I talked to him this morning, excited to return to the Cuban national team for the first time in over a decade. So welcome all of our players and our coach this morning here in Belgrade. I'm going to start with a question for each of our participants, and then we'll open it up to the media, whether they're here or online, if we get that opportunity to ask questions as well. We'll start with the head coach from Serbia, Coach Krecu. So what has surprised you the most about the new team, the new role, and the first few weeks working with the team?
First of all, the big will of the new guys, of the younger generation. Happy to be part of the national team and trying to give their best day by day. For sure is a restart, and I saw from the first moment that we would like to stay and not to go home like in previous years, but is making us the staff happy to go every day to try to help these guys to be part of the national team.
And how does the VNL fit in with the overall preparations towards, say, the World Championships this year and then beyond that?
Oh, for sure, many teams were trying to reorganize. It's a new Olympic cycle, and VNL is a competition where we can find out the real potential of our players.
So what's been, say, the biggest challenge so far, would you say?
To build a new team.
Pardon?
To build a new team.
To build a new team. All right. Thanks very much. All right. I'm going to ask a question to Jan Zimmermann. Jan, I happened to be with your team when you were, or commentating when you were in Quebec City a few weeks ago, and you had a huge fourth match and a huge win against France, 29-27. How important was that to get that victory to end week one on a positive note?
First of all, good morning, everybody. Yeah, for us it was very important. I think we tried to play as many sets as possible. We went 3 times 3-2, and then won the last one. I think we had chances to win even before, in 2 games for sure. It was important for us to get this victory in the last game, because not even for the points, but more for the mental side. I think it was important to leave Canada in a good mood and not lose 4 games in a row, especially when you're all the time so close. And you had it in your hands twice at least. We had it in our hands 3 times we won 1, so we finished in a good way, which was, for all the guys, I think, for the young team, important.
Yeah, you talked about a young team. Can you give us a sense of some of the young players that maybe impressed you in week 1?
I think that if you make 8 blocks in the last game, like Simon Tawi, it was pretty impressive. I think he was playing really good. I think also Philipp Jorn was playing really good. I think he's also in top scorers quite high. I think these 2 guys made a really good job. But I think in VNL it's always a team effort because you're playing 4 games in 5 days, so you need everybody to help.
Yeah, leading the VNL in block points is pretty good for a first time. That's really good. All right, beside Jan is Vessel Kaming. So Vessel, you've got a new coach on the team, Joel Banks from the UK, who's a former setter, so that's good for you. And he seems like he's had success almost everywhere he's gone. So what has that transition to new coach been like?
I think at first he really wanted to be in the Netherlands, so that's always good that your coach wants to be part of your team. But what you said, like in Belgium, he was successful, a couple times champion. Now in Berlin, he's a couple times champion. So he knows what it is to win. He's hard for the group, but in a good way, because we have some young guys. You have to learn, like a lot of teams, have to learn what it is to play. What Jan said, 4 games in 5 days. This is not a normal thing you do in normal volleyball. You always play 1 game. Sometimes a week, sometimes 2, if you're in a lot of cups. So this is a whole different experience. So we're trying to figure it out, and he's helping us with this.
All right. So having said that, and I'm sure it'll be very orderly and everything, but it's going to be interesting, don't you think, on Sunday when your team meets Roberto Piazza's team? I think interesting for a lot of us on the outside, anyway. He was with your team for a long time.
He was with, I think, our team for 5 or 6 years. So obviously, a lot of the guys know him very well. At least we hope to beat him. Obviously, we hope to beat everybody, but that's not an easy task to achieve. So for us, it's game to game. It's focusing on every game, trying to learn and be competitive, and then we'll see where we end up. And hopefully, that's where the win. But for us, the process now of playing these games is also very important. So I'm not gonna say here on international TV that we're gonna beat him for sure. So no, we're just gonna try, and then we'll see where we end up.
All right. No, you don't want to print it and put it up in the locker room for the team. No, it's smart, very smart. Augustin, special role for you to take over as the captain of Argentina from Luciano De Checo. What does that just in of itself mean to be the captain of Argentina to you and to your family?
No, it's a big responsibility, but also a big honor. But I'm very confident with the guys, with the team. I played with him for a lot of years. So I feel very good, I'm happy, I'm trying to do my best to help the team. And also, I also played with a lot of good captains, so I think I learned a lot from them. So I think I can help the young guys to grow and to grow also as a team.
One thing that we saw with almost all the teams, or we see, is that whole idea of load management because of the fact that it is a long season and you all have your professional seasons and the World Championships. How has your team sort of managed that, that not everyone plays too much or that not the best players play too much?
Oh, yeah, that's a difficult part now to decide which player has to play and no. I finished very late the season, but I talked with the coach and I say that I wanted to be with the team. Also, with this new role was important, I think, for the team. But the coach decide what player has to play. Is like this. I think all 14, 15 guys are ready to play. And of course, when you can have free time or to rest, you do it. But for the matches, you have to be ready because maybe you can not start, but after if the match gets complicated, you can go in. So you have to be ready.
I want to ask one more question to you. Your team started the week in Quebec with 2 big wins in Quebec City, and then ended the week with an incredible match against Italy, where one of the sets had more than 70 points scored. And I know that sadly you didn't win in your case. But what did that effort show you about your team and some of the younger players that you're incorporating in now?
In the first weekend, I think we did good. This match against Italy was a bit difficult for us because we were winning for 6 points in the third set after we lost. So I think we could have played a tiebreak. But I think the team, the young guys, show a lot of respect. The way he fight in the court was very important for us. I think we tried to show that with the Argentinian team. So I think it was a good weekend, but we can do better, and we will try to do it here in Serbia.
All right. In case you missed that, you can go back on VBTV, by the way, and watch that third set. 37-35 is how it ended. Amazing. All right, David, on the far side of the table there, I think it's fair to say that the highlight of week one for your team in Rio was beating Brazil at Mercanzinho, and another long match that lasted over 2 hours. And what did that mean for your team, as a motivation going forward?
First of all, good morning, everybody. It's a honor to be here. What can I say? We every time have very good matches against Brazil. I think we have the same kind of game. We play quite similar. Especially, this was quite tough game for us, especially mentally, physically. We know how they play, and we know how is the style of game of this team. Sadly, we couldn't win so many games in the first phase, but I think for the spirit of the team, for the winner mentality of the team, at least we continue with one victory, and especially in such victory like that. This is what I told you. It's very good for the spirit of the team, for winner mentality. That's all, and simple.
And in your career, how many times had you beaten Brazil?
It was the first time for me. I was in national team around 10 years ago or 12 years ago. And yes, when you're a player, you can travel around the whole world, but I would have never been in Brazil. It was my first time. It was quite impressive for me. It's okay, it's Latin America, the same continent as I live, but the experience was quite amazing.
Great, that's awesome. Okay. Bardia Sadat on the far side. We talked about Coach Roberto Piazza already, now in charge of your team. What are the guys learning about the new systems and his style of management?
Our game? Sorry. I didn't.
At first, hello to everyone and all volleyball fans. As you said, our new head coach, he's really experienced man in the volleyball, and he built a new mentality and a new system in our team. And as me and all of my teammates, we try to at first learn, then do what he wants from us to do in the games. And as you see from first week, unfortunately we didn't start good, but day by day we are going to be better and better, game by game, and we played, as you see, the 3 match in tiebreak. And I think with his system we are going to be better every day.
Is there a different style that he's asking you to play? Different offensive or defensive or blocking, or is it all different?
He checks everything, and he knows the volleyball very well. And he gave us every day the good tips and the good systems and the way to play, especially the way to think and to know and understand volleyball in the moment better. Okay,
great. Okay, back to the middle of the table, Dražan Ljuberić. Last year in the VNL, Dražan, your team was facing essentially a must-win game against Cuba for Olympic qualification, and you came back from 2 sets down to win, and you led the team in scoring actually, and eventually, of course, qualified for Paris. So I just have to ask, what do you remember about that match? Because it really was maybe one of the most significant matches in the VNL last year.
Good morning, everyone. Well, yeah, it was really intense, especially when you have that kind of pressure that if you lose, you're out of the race. So that says everything about that match. But even after we were losing 2-0, we had this positive and aggressive approach in the game, and at the end, luckily, we made it. So it brought us in Olympic Games.
You said luckily, but I feel like great players like you find a way to create your own luck. How do you do that?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think all of the sportsmen has this phrase when you say that you have to earn your luck, So I guess you just start to focus more on the game, to be more aggressive, to don't wait from your opponent to make some mistakes, but you just overtake situations as much as you can, and you start to hit harder, to serve faster, to I don't know, jump more, and beside the tactics, and I think that combination is bringing you the success.
And how are you finding? You're probably not going to say anything bad about your new coach, but how are you finding the new coaching philosophy and situation?
I like it generally because I think we missed that to play like today's volleyball with a lot of tactics and positioning. So I think until now in my career I never spent so much time learning positioning in defense and block and stuff. I think I didn't think so much and preparing the game.
And last question, how big of a boost is it for you to be playing here in Serbia this week?
It's a great feeling. I think it's every of our players, in Serbia, it's like your dream come true, playing in front of your spectators, fans, families, friends, and I hope they're going to be our biggest support.
Good. All right. We're going to open it up to the media present. And we have a microphone that will come around, and that's not because the people here couldn't hear you without it, but because we want the people watching on stream to be able to hear you as well. So if anyone has a question, please raise their hand. We'll get you the microphone, and go ahead and direct your question at the player you want to speak to or the coach.
Hello, Predrag Milinkovic from Serbian Broadcast. For Mr. Kretsu, 2 questions. Here we have very tough opponents. What will be your goal for this tournament here? And we know that you are very busy. You were very busy last 2 months. You think about volleyball 24 hours per day. Do you have a little bit time for enjoying Belgrade and Serbia?
Okay, first of all, about the tournament, it's clear that how it was also in the first tournament, is every game not only tough but different. We have to bring these young guys in a system, and it's good to have Dražen and Marko here. Also Jovovic was trying to help us in the first tournament. Actually, it takes for sure time, but how Dražen said, it's different to play at home in front of the own crowd, families, fans. We hope that this is going to be an extra motivation for all these young guys that we brought for this week in the team. About Belgrade, this is a good question. I think in the first weekend a bit in the old town, and short moments for a coffee, but that's it. Most of the day busy. I don't know if somebody knows that in the first 4 weeks until we play Russia here, we had almost every week 24 to 26 guys in the camp, and the staff was working quite hard, to keep these guys, which show us that they want to be with the national team.
And I have a question for Dražen. Are you satisfied with the progress with the new team, with what you done in last 2 months?
Well, actually, I am. Even though we cannot see that still, we did lost three games in China, but on the other hand, we must be satisfied because there's a lot of young guys this season, and it's hard to fulfill every assignment from the coach, in the first month, because we just met, like a month and a half ago. So I think as fast as of this weekend in Belgrade, I think we're gonna manage this better and bring some wins, to the home crowd. But I expect the results to come, in the World Champs.
And the last one for the Iranian scorer. First game you will play against Serbia. What do you think about Serbian team, and how will it be tough for you to play when your country is in trouble?
At first, for sure, it will be difficult because we will play against Serbia in their home. For sure, most of the supporters and fans, they will support them. But we will push till the end. We never surrender, and we fight till the end, till the last ball, to leave the match with the good results. And just this. Thank you.
Anyone else? Yes.
Good morning, Stevan Mačkić, Arena Sport. Question for Coach Krecu. You've mentioned a lot of young players in the national team, and that the quest is to bring new players from the Serbian Super League. Are you satisfied with their work rate in training? Second question, also for you. You've been put under a lot of pressure in the last couple of years working in Zaksa and Slovenia, and you always delivered results. Do you feel the same kind of pressure now, or is this a different kind of project of long-term rebuilding the team for the Olympic Games? Question for Vesel also. You've mentioned Joel Banks. Do you think that he will be able to bring the team up to compete against the top-level national teams such as Poland? And last for David Rodriguez. We've read the story about the visa problem for your teammates. Do you have any new information about that, about their coming to Belgrade? Thank you.
Sure, I'm satisfied because they brought a lot of good energy and also correct attitude. You know, guys, everyone, what means for a young athlete to wear this T-shirt in your country. That's why I'm here, that's why I took this challenge. I knew it from the beginning when we have the first discussions with the federation that I have to start to rebuild the national team, to bring the guys that they were before just around the national team, or some of them not even close to the national team. You know very well that we have guys born 2006, 2005, 2003, 2002, two guys that they were playing also in the first tournament. Even if they were around the national team, they were never on the court. This time they are the protagonists, they are sitting there on the court. And about pressure. If everyone gonna have the pressure that we have, the athletes, I think everyone gonna be happy. Who doesn't want to have this pressure has to search another job, actually, we have to be happy that we are sitting here and we can do this every day. I think we are already blessed to have this kind of job.
About the question about the coach, obviously what he said, like he's doing a good job at the clubs, and he's also trying to help our young guys to make a big step. They have good potential, but it's always a different thing to show your potential and to reach your potential. So I hope in the coming years that they will grow and fulfill this potential, and then we maybe can fight with the other teams. But obviously this is a big if. So for now we just try to work really hard, try to improve every time, and then we'll see what happens. So yeah, I cannot promise you anything. Only time will tell if we can grow to compete with these guys. For now we will just try.
Regarding your question, it was a surprise for us. We didn't expect it. It was literally during the check-in in the airport. It was also a little bit hard for us to deal with, because we come here to the second week with more time of training, more time of chemistry in our team. But the situation was like that. Our organization made little mistake. Well, not little mistake. It was a huge mistake. Look, you can see the situation now for us. It was simple. We're supposed to come to Madrid and after go to the Netherlands, but we need transit visa. And the organization who reserved the tickets for us, they didn't count on this. So only the guys who have visa Schengen or some kind of European visa, we could pass to the check-in and travel. But the rest, 70% of the team stay in Cuba. Actually, they are coming. They are already on the way. I think they will arrive tonight, and for sure we will be ready to play the first game. We have two choices: or we give up after this situation, or we become stronger. It's simple for us. We need to choose.
I'm impressed with everybody who remembered all of the questions. So thanks for delivering that and for delivering the answers. Anyone? I'm sure we have more questions. Anyone else want to jump in? It was interesting what the coach said about being here and looking around the first week and then being totally busy, because that's, I think, the experience that a lot of people have. You know, your friends think you're lucky to go to all these places, and then you say you saw the hotel, the venue, and the airport, and if you're lucky, you got a little walk around or whatever. We try to look around a little bit more, but sometimes I walked from one hotel to the other this morning, so that was my exercise. But that is kind of the way things go often. You're busy, you're trying to do a great job at your work. Anyone else? More questions? Do you have a question? No? Sorry. All right, we do have some other questions that were kind of passed on to us from fans, so this is quite interesting, and I'll start with those. Drazen, what is your first volleyball memory connected with Belgrade?
Well, although I did play in the Serbian Championship, 4 years, but still, I think the memory which I remember, which was the brightest one, is like coming to the national team first season. Experiencing all of this, meeting all of those legends. Played in national team, and yeah, I would choose that one.
Okay. Someone else has also asked, you can keep the microphone, has asked if you could bring back, this is interesting, any retired Serbian player, and you just alluded to them, from any era of the team, who would it be? Who is like your hero who you'd love to kind of bring back and play with?
Although he retired only 1 year ago, I think number one will be Atanasievich, He's the fun guy to have around in the team, so I hope in the future he will be some part of the team. Maybe, of course, he will not play for national team no more, but in some role, I would like to have them.
How important is it, and for others as well, to have a really fun guy or a few of them on the team? Because you can't just be all serious all the time.
Of course, I mean, sport is a fun thing to do, and somebody is calling it a work, but actually it's not a work. It's like dream job, I would say. Although we do have some, injuries and issues and fatigue often, but besides of that, it's just fun thing to do.
Okay, I have a question for Augustin Lusser. Augustin, if you had a chance to make your own dream team, I guess you would be on it, but maybe not, I don't know. Who would you pick for the roster?
Like players that
like
are currently playing?
It could be anyone. Could be in the past. 6 players, 7 libero.
Yeah, it's difficult, but I will say the Checo with maybe Sokolov. I like Leon for sure, Ngapet, Simon. I could put there, I don't know, another like some Polish middle blocker. I think they're very good. And after libero, Grevenikov for sure. Yeah, I think that could be.
That sounds like a good team.
Yeah, it's a good team for sure.
All right, that's great. Barzia on the far side. Your team, your nation's had good success in the junior level. How do you think you convert that, translate that into success at the senior level?
Because of that, as you said, our juniors, every time they have medal in the championship, and our teams now, it's make new generation, and me also another of some players, it's coming from the junior teams, and the generation is changing in Iran, and most of the players is young, and our team is try to be getting more experience and using the young players who they played good in the juniors. And this team, I think the goal and the dream is for the LA Olympic Games, and we are preparing from now to them.
How big would it be for your nation to have that sort of success, maybe a medal at the LA Games? What would that mean?
As I said, it's like dream that we wanna make it real, and we gives our best to reach this goal.
Okay, thanks. All right, Vessel, who were your volleyball heroes that inspired you to chase your dreams in sports? Or heroes in other sports, maybe?
In volleyball, mostly, it's not a big surprise for the Dutch fans. Peter Blanger is the Olympic setter who won Olympic gold for Netherlands in '96. And as a lot of other guys, I think of my generation, not from volleyball, but from all sports, for me, Kobe Bryant was also a big inspiration. So these two, mostly Peter Blanger and Kobe Bryant.
Cool, very cool. Now, I'm going to ask you the question that I asked her earlier about the fun atmosphere. Is there like a clown, kind of class clown on your team, or is it you, or?
There is, but I'm not really sure if he wants the whole world to know that he's a class clown. But no, we have a couple guys. Also, what Drazan also said, like it's also very important, like especially in other match days, that you have fun as well in what you're doing. That it's not always the ball cannot always be fully back. So no, we have a couple guys, but yeah.
Okay.
Maybe for next interview, I'll ask him if I can name him, and then I'll name Shane.
Okay, I'll find you at the gym and see if he lets us talk about it. Okay, Jan Zimmerman. If you could play a match alongside any historical volleyball player who would you choose and why?
That's a very good question. I think with one of them I played already. I think it was always a dream to play with Leon. And I did in Perugia, and it was something really special because, especially at the time, I was coming from Belgium and I went to Italy, and he just did insane things before. I think one of the players I always wanted to play with was also Matt Anderson, because I think he's playing like from if you could take any player who you would like to put in a book, I think it's Matt Anderson.
Sort of like if in a lab, you build him up, and that's what he'd be. Oh, that's great. Okay, David, what does it mean for you to represent Cuba on the international stage?
Oh man, come on! It's a honor. I guess doesn't matter the situation or the sport or discipline. It's a honor to represent your country, to be part of your people, to especially now in the part of the sport in international, to know how is the situation in your country, or to know how is the life in your country, and to be part of this and represent them in international international tournaments is definitely a honor. There's no more explanation for this.
Great. Do we have anyone else in the crowd, anyone from the media who has any more questions? All right. So, again, I want to thank, oh, wait, not yet. We have another question, or more. We still have time.
So for Bardia, you've played in Serbia, in Niš. What are your memories of the Serbian Super League in our country? Thank you.
Yes, I played many years ago. It was my first year that I wanted to playing outside of Iran. And always I remembered that with the good memorizes, because I started from here, then I transferred to other leagues, but it was so good to playing here. When I was there, our head coach also knows our culture because he played before in Iran, in my city that I was born in Urmia. But it was good, and I was so happy to came Serbia after long years again to see here, and now I'm so ready to playing again in Serbia.
Anyone else? All right. Again, thanks to everyone who's come here. Thanks to everyone who's come here. And certainly we appreciate all those who are watching back home. We look forward to seeing everyone at the venue. Matches again start tomorrow and continue until Sunday. And I'm going to be really selfish and ask if I can get everyone to stand up and I can be in a photo here as well with this group, because this is quite an honor for me and I want my kids to believe it. No, I'll be on the side. I'll be the libero over on the far side. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, guys. See you at the gym.